I'm about to lay down the cold, hard truth here. I'm about to lay down the real woke facts, the red pills that none of you want to hear, but y'all need to hear. Y'all need to hear for some moral conscience up in this bitch, of which I have none, nor do I believe in any. But I'm going to give it to you anyway, because if I did, I would certainly hold this belief. Alright, so birth. You think about bringing people into the world. What is that ultimately going to do? It's going to bring people pain, right? You experience more pain as you're born, pain that you never had to experience before previously having been born. To exist is to experience pain, therefore to bring life into the world is to subjugate them to pain that they never once had been subjugated to. Their existence their existence beforehand did not exist. There was none. There was none. There was no existence. No existence. Didn't exist. Gone. None. Zero. Nada. Zilch. No existence. Nobody there. Nobody exists. No existence yet. That means there is an absence of pleasure, yes, but there is an absence of pain as well. The fact that you're bringing life into the world is to bring them pain. Anything else is just a distraction from that reality. That is just a cold hard fact. Reality, real, right there. Pain, experiencing it in the place over there. It's over there. Yeah, pain, right there. But you don't have to do that. You know, you may be bringing someone into the world to experience pleasure, but they're also going to be experiencing pain. Lots of it. Potentially, you know what could potentially happen? People can get cancer. Do you know how bad that affects a lot of people? They get cancer. Badly affects them. People can get in a car crash. People can get in extreme addictions that, the pharmaceutical companies prescribes them opioids and then they get stuck on opioids and then they die of an overdose. People climate change. I mean, even with my philosophical stance is just that bringing life into the world itself, if I believed in morals, would be immoral because there's so many numbers of things that can go wrong. But the mere fact that pain itself exists is enough of a reason to not birth life into the world because you're birthing them into a life of pain. Pain that they never had to experience otherwise because they never existed otherwise. But more so, what I want to get to here is climate change. The fact that we're going to be in the heat death of the universe and everyone's going to have to suffer a lot as crop yields go down, which they already are, and as the ice caps continue melting, as a lot of these places are literally on fire right now. The ice caps are on fire. You're getting a huge amount of wildfires in places like California, which did not have fires ever this extreme. They're just having them now. You're getting natural disasters all over the place, everywhere. Natural disasters, things blowing up, cats and dogs living together, massive hysteria. Right. Big problem. And in the next 10 years, really, it's going to be less than 10 years, the effects of it are going to be unfixable. I mean, the sea levels have already been rising, and the sea levels ain't going to be fixed. Can't fix sea levels. The catastrophe has already ensued, and you cannot do anything about it. So, even with this, even though the effects of climate change can essentially be limited in the next, before the next less than 10 years occurs, you're just limiting the effects of climate change at that point. The real effects have already ensued. The seed has been planted and we can't go back. If we wanted to fix it, we should have fixed it a long time ago, but now it's too late. We can't go back. And so what life is going to be for the next few decades until ultimately the whole world fucking goes into its heat death is just going to be trying to advance technology as fast as possible to be able to limit the effects of climate change and to limit the way that it interacts with human life. To be able to look at climate change and go, all right, here's a man-made thing that doesn't get rid of you, but it makes it easier to tolerate. And so bringing life into the world is really problematic if you believe in morality or if you have empathy. If you have empathy, which I'm going to assume that you do, then by bringing life into the world, you're bringing a child into a life of nothing but suffering. Nothing but suffering. If you have empathy, you wouldn't want to do that because empathetically, that is a challenge. It's literally just a challenge. It's like, okay, There's this huge block in front of me. What should I do? Should I drive directly into it and explode, or should I just avoid the block altogether? The natalists who advocate for birth and raising the birth rates and all this other nonsense, they just want to drive straight in. They just want to drive straight in. It doesn't matter how morally bankrupt it is. It doesn't matter how terrible of a choice that would be on an empathetic level alone for your children. It doesn't matter. Just drive straight in, man. Um, and if you're going to operate within your own principles as a person concerning empathy and morality, then I would recommend that you don't do that. Um, and so, if we're going to talk about antinatalism strictly in a moral sense, which I don't subscribe to morals, as I've said in the past, but if I did, I would be a full blown antinatalist. No kids whatsoever. Main reasons I'm not having kids is mostly just because I find them annoying. I wouldn't actually care very much about the suffering that they would experience as a result of existing. It wouldn't really matter to me. I just find kids really, really annoying. So I wouldn't want to birth any kids into existence. Um, so yeah, so I mean even if I which I think I could build the patience necessary. I just wouldn't want to have my own kids because you're simultaneously bringing life into the world and life that's going to be extremely annoying anyway. Like I don't understand the point of that. It seems like a total waste of time. Maybe I could build the patience, but if I built the patience, I would just want to adopt a kid. What's the point of bringing life into the earth? What's the point of just having your own kids? What is it? What's the point? It doesn't make sense. So basically, the reason why trans women, they basically give you the same attraction that you would get by seeing a cis woman. They look the same, they're pretty much all of the same attributes are there. They're on the surface. If you look at a really hot trans girl, they're going to be no different than just a really hot cis girl. They look the same. There's no difference. So it's like, you know, if you just date a trans girl instead and you just have sex with her, then you don't have to worry about this moral quandary of birthing somebody into existence because now that element is totally removed. They can't have kids. So if they can't have kids, then no one's going to be birthed into existence. If no one is birthed into existence, then you don't have to deal with the moral implications of birthing someone into existence. It's that simple. Cis women, nowhere near as powerful, nowhere near as powerful as trans women, simply because trans women don't have kids. So you don't have to deal with it. You don't have to deal with any of the moral implications of that. You don't have to deal with any of the problems of seeing a fucking retard running around and having to deal with the fact that your genes brought that horrible thing out here. No, they just don't exist. Who cares? I, but yeah, that's my point.